Please welcome our friend Jon Gabrus.
My dad was obsessed with cold cuts. It was like the biggest thing in the house to be like, I just went to Enzo's, I got a pound of ham, pound of turkey, pound of cheese, and he would rattle it off to me, and it would just go on. And we lived in a family with 3 boys, all of us like fat messes, and so he had to buy a lot of cold cuts, and he would rattle it off, and he'd be like, Enzo hooked it up, it was $4.50 for the honey boar's head turkey, $5.50 for the honey boar's head ham, and he would just liverwurst. And then he like thought he was Italian at some point today. We got the gabagool, some prosciutto, the mozzarella, the calamari. You know, he just rattled on. And we were like, okay, Dad. And he's like, just don't eat all the roast. The big rule was don't eat all the roast beef at any point, even if there was one slice left. Don't be the guy that finishes the roast beef because he wanted it for work. So I was quite the drinker, specifically. I'm on the 11th step now. I was drunk one night. I came home and I went to get in my house, and somehow I broke the key off in my door, in my lock, but unlocked the door at the same time. So I go in and I make myself a sandwich, and I remember opening up the cold cut drawer and being like, oh, my dad went to Enzo's today. There's so much stuff in here. This is awesome. And I remember making like a sandwich. I don't remember the epic proportions of it, but I know like I'm a pretty skilled sandwich maker as is. I can imagine that night I was inspired by Natty Ice, the drink du jour for Long Island assholes. The next thing I know, I hear banging on my door. And I'm like, well, what? I'm awake, I'm like doing work. I'm just not. Sorry, I'm just like lying to my phone. I'm just like, I'm awake doing work. It's like 8:40 in the morning on a Saturday. And he comes in the door and he's like, John. And I'm like, what? He's like, did you eat all the cold cuts last night? I was like, no, I didn't have anything. He's like, somebody ate all the cold cuts. And I was like, all of the cold cuts, Dad? Somebody ate all of the cold cuts? And he's like, yes, someone ate all, and I'm like, you're crazy. No one ate. I'm like, there's gotta be some left. He's like, someone ate a whole pound of ham, a whole pound of turkey, half a pound of cheese, half a loaf of bread. And then he was like, some mortadello shit that I've never even heard of had been missing at this point. And my father's like, it was you. You were the only one that was out late last night. And I'm like, my mom didn't do it, and it wasn't my brothers because they were like 16 and 11 at the time, and I'm selling them up. I'm like, it wasn't me. He's like, get up and come look at the cold cuts. And I'm like, I'm not gonna look at the cold cuts. He's like, get up and look at the cold cuts. I was like, Dad, get out of my room. I'm a grown man. You're terrible to live with. Get out of my room. What does he do? He rips my blanket off like a dad, and I'm laying there in just underwear and covered in bread and cold cuts. I passed out with the entire salad. I must have taken, cleaning up everywhere. And my father's like, he turns like bright red. My dad has ice blue eyes, so he looks like a Pokemon character at this point. And he's so close to my face. He's like, you get up and you clean this. And I clean it all up, and I realized I made a sandwich with 4 pieces of bread, like layered in the middle, Big Mac style. All of the, like a pound of ham, and not even like in any special way. I just taken it out of the package and placed it on the bread. And I had taken like maybe 2 bites. I barely bites because the sandwich was this thick, and then just fell asleep. I had like it been pressed to my chest with mayonnaise. So then when my father ripped my blanket off, I snapped up, and it was still just sitting on my chest. And I was like, so that night was the night I realized that my dad wasn't the terrible person to live with, but I was the terrible person to live with. Thank you very much, guys.